So this guy releases footage from Hyenas, the alpha that ran this weekend. I'm not going to show you gameplay in motion because I have a suspicion that Sega is going to come in and take this down sooner than later, and I don't want it to affect my video. But there you go. You can see his timestamp behind it or his watermark behind it. He didn't give a shit. Whatever. But if you watch the gameplay, which at the moment you still can, it is, forget the cringe dialogue and this is horrible. But take a look at the gameplay and it is, there are some moments that are interesting. There's some design choices that are interesting, but it's very generic for the most part. And you look at it and you go, a decent amount of time and money was spent on this thing. How did it get this far? And they're making just a generic fucking title. I want to show you something else. This is all related. This is Hyperscape from Ubisoft. Ubisoft This is already dead. Very beautiful. Well, not very beautiful. Very nice looking, professional, polished battle royale game from Ubisoft. Came out dead in a dodo almost immediately. Okay, so that's gone. Say your goodbyes to that one, right? Rumbleverse came out this week. Now, obviously, it's too early to write the success story or the obituary for Rumbleverse. My prediction is it's not going to be a massive success. At best, I think it'll be kind of a knockout city, like a C+, B- tier success of a service-based game. Is that? I'm just guessing. I don't know. I did play it for about an hour, and I'm good. I don't need to play it anymore. It's very well made. Incredibly impressively produced, but ultimately not enough to hold your attention, especially with other things like Multiverses out there and even Turbo Golf Racing, which I think are better new multiplayer games that have just recently launched. So there's that one, a lot of production value into that one. This is Roller Champions. Now, whatever you say about Roller Champions is also from Ubisoft. I played it. I liked it, but it wasn't very sticky. Some people will argue the reason that it's not doing incredibly well is the crossplay invites aren't there yet, blah, blah, blah. And if you watch people play this at a high level, it is impressive and it's a good game. Hyenas, I can't speak to that well, but other than that, none of these are bad games. There's nothing to be ashamed of if you designed, directed, programmed, arted. These are really well-made, polished games. But they don't seem to be working. I know there was a rumor last month that this game was already going to be canceled. Ubisoft said that's not the case. Maybe that's true. I don't fucking know. It's weird there would be a rumor. But if you do look at this guy made a video. I don't know where he's getting his data, but this wouldn't surprise me if this is accurate about Roller Champions just collapsing in terms of player base, right? This was as of July 29th. Has it gotten back up? Probably not. No one's talking about it. No one's thinking about it. Of course, this is sort of, I like this game. Incredibly well made, incredibly polished. It has really improved over the last year with updates to the netcode. There's new modes. It's really fucking well made. I could be wrong, but I don't think this is doing very well. I don't think this is a big fucking honking hit. I don't think many people play this at all anymore. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. The last time I played it was about, I probably played this about 2 months ago, and it took me a little bit of time to finally find a game. When I found one, I really enjoyed it for 1 or 2 matches, and then I was done, and I probably won't ever go back to it. Okay. I'm bringing all these games up, not to be a dick about look at these games that have failed or probably will fail. But I bring them up because I'm staggered. When I was, I'm staggered by the way these companies making these games are making these decisions. When I was running around the industry trying to raise money after Twisted Metal, a lot of people I was meeting with, this was at the heyday of the smartphones and stuff, right? So this is 2012. And so everyone's like, oh, we want to make Facebook games. We want to make iPhone games. I didn't, but I was meeting with everybody. And they have this thing in the mobile phone world. They have it everywhere, but in software. But you heard it a lot called MVP, the minimal viable product. And their whole thing was fail fast. Get it up, get it out. And let's see if we have any secret sauce. And if we do, we'll keep throwing money at it. But why would we put something out that's going to be free anyway and spend 2 years tweaking it if there's no audience for it, right? I don't know why console software struggles with this. It may just be lineage of making games for consoles versus PC. If you actually go over to PC, there are examples where this worked beautifully on PC. Obviously, Dota Warcraft or Dota was a Warcraft mod, which, I mean, I'm not a Dota fan at all, but I know it's a phenomenon. People adore it. But this first came to life via people just fucking making a mod on Warcraft 3, right? This is what PUBG looked like when it was an Arma. It was an Arma mod. And then even when it launched originally, it still looks, you know, smashed together with all kinds of assets that were not original. It looked janky, but the essence was there. Clearly, people fell in love with it, and it became the phenomenon that it is today. Console's done it a little bit. Remember this? Uncharted 3 used to do, I think they called it the lab. Obviously, the game was already done and the polish was already there. And this, you know, but the idea is there, right? I don't know what they ever did with the data, but if the map, if you had a map that everybody fell in love with and was playing constantly, you would go, oh, okay, let's spend money and flesh that out. It simply just makes all the goddamn sense in the world. I don't know why these companies are spending so much money. Like going back to Hyenas, it's like, guys, you could have known at a very janky level if this was worth taking it to 20% of what you see here, right? You could put it out on PC. You could put it out on console, at least on Xbox. They have that kind of early access kind of thing going. PlayStation should have that as well. And you could see if it's worth your time. I mean, I'm going to show you a game I've been loving, and I don't know how big of a hit this game is going to be, if at all. It may be a big flop as well, like some of these other games. I can tell you it's a lot of fun, and I can tell you, I don't know this for certain, but you could have made this even less impressive. You didn't need all the backgrounds and all that shit to see if it was a minimal viable product that people liked. And even with what's there now, look how inexpensive this is compared to something like this. And it's like Destruction All-Stars probably has gotten about 45 minutes of playtime over a year and a half since it's been out from me, right? But TurboGolf has gotten probably 7, 8, 9 hours since it launched a couple of weeks ago, last week, whenever it launched, right? I'm hoping that, like, you know, everybody's talking about these titles that Sony Santa Monica's doing. What is that? Everybody's talking about these titles Sony Santa Monica's doing. Not Sony Santa Monica. I'm sorry. I was talking to somebody from Sony Santa Monica today. That Sony's doing the 10 service-based titles. I hope, and I'll tell you something. I know Twisted Metal is in development now. I've told you guys that. I discovered that it was, and I mean, it was rumored, and I was like, "There's no way. No, there's a way. They're doing it." I really hope they're not sitting there spending a lot of money right now making cars look amazing and making the environments cool and getting some voice, and then they're going to unveil it. And if it works, great. But Twisted Metal is a hard fucking nut to crack in 2022. And if it doesn't, they've spent all that money on something they could have known. That game's not going to sink or swim based on the graphic quality. Just like, I mean, Destruction All-Stars is a fucking beautiful game. Incredibly well made, incredibly well produced game. This thing's not going to, this didn't, look at me, you can do all kinds of cool shit. You probably took it to a marketing meeting and, oh, you can steal somebody's car. And, you know, we used to call them marketing moments. We would build stuff specifically in the game that we knew the marketing guys would get excited about, right? I mean, we were excited about it too, but it was like, you knew those were the moments they would talk about that would help build the game up so they could take it out and pitch. Oh, you can blow up the Eiffel Tower. Or I remember when we were watching the guys who developed Spawn for the PS1, it was, or 2, I think it was 1, and you could take off the guy's arm and beat people with it, and they just lost their shit in the meeting, and that ended up becoming the ad campaign, right? I get the value, but with these kind of games, man, you know, you don't need it. And it's a waste of time, and it's a big fucking risk. Do what PUBG did. Hell, even if you want to put out a complete game, look at Fall Guys. I mean, Fall Guys clearly didn't cost a lot to figure out if there was something secret in the water, something secret sauce. Look at Among Us. The idea that these console games, I just look at Hyena. This is, unless something changes, and it's an alpha, and I know the team's not done, blah, blah. I get it. But this is dead on arrival. I'm going to tell you something else. We did Drawn to Death. We had Drawn to Death out for over a year in various states of alpha. You could get codes all over. Call me. I'd give you a code. We didn't know how to read the data. I mean, we had real smart people looking at the data, but the fact that with all those alphas, we did not have a sticky game. And after we'd give out 5,000 alphas over the weekend, by the next weekend, there was only 20 people playing it. We knew that a year and a half, 2 years before the goddamn game officially launched. We didn't know what we didn't know, but now we know. You know, what's that famous, I think it's Maya Angelou that Oprah always says, fuck you, I like Oprah. When you know better, you do better. Now that you know better, Sony, Sega, any of these companies doing this stuff, Ubisoft especially. And to their credit, I mean, Roller Champions was out for a very long time, like in alpha. And I remember there were times, this is an early version, where it was being played that you could actually, you know, get a code and stuff, and then they would kind of pull it back. I don't know what they thought they learned in the 2 years. This is a 2-year-old, 3-year-old video between this and when it finally shipped that they said, we finally cracked it. Or if they were just like, you know, they should have released it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't know with this what they now know or probably know with this, which is it's not a very sticky game. And I don't know. I don't know why that was the hard thing for them to get their heads around. Right? I mean, it looks great, right? But all the flash and all the polish, that's really not much different than that. And that's from 3 years ago. They said, okay, now we're ready. Well, so I don't know. My point is minimal viable products. It works for a lot of other software industries. There's no reason it shouldn't work for games. Of course, you're going to have a bunch of gamers who are like, I don't fucking want to play something that doesn't look done. It's fine. It's not for you. If you only get 5% of your audience that usually would play a game like this, but only 5% show up, you can still model or extrapolate the data of, hey, that 5%, that was really sticky for that 5%, or that 5% had no interest in it at all. And you can kind of model that out and go, okay, the people who played it and showed up, they kept showing up. They kept showing up. Cool. We have something. Let's go to the next step. But this idea of finishing this shit and putting it out and then what happened? That's ridiculous. This game should not have gotten as far as it did. I mean, it was PS5. I know it was like a launch title, but I'm just saying it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Be well. What am I not understanding? Let me know. See you soon. Thanks, everybody. Be well. Bye.